Hey, welcome back for our fourth class in the series. We're going to start off today as we do lying on our backs. If you have blocks, I'm going to tell you how you can lay on the blocks to align the shoulders, which I love and is like one of the most beneficial things you can do for yourself on the regular. If you don't have blocks yet, you can lay on like a bolster, kind of like shaped like this. Woo, with the palms facing up at your sides to open up through the chest. Or you could even just roll up a blanket and lean back on that. Have it under your head. Okay, but if you do have blocks, this is like my favorite thing. Start with your knees bent. Lean back so that the first block is directly under, pressed into the shoulder blades. Lengthen through the back of the neck and place your head on the second block. You can rest with your palms on your ribs or your hands at like a 30-degree angle away from the body, palms facing up. If you feel like your chin is tilted up above your forehead a lot, you may want to just turn that block that's under the head up to the medium height. So the forehead is slightly above the chin, which lets the body know, the nervous system, that it no longer needs to be in fight or flight, and it can begin to actually settle down and relax. If you don't have blocks or blankets or anything, you can just lay flat on your back, starting with the knees bent, allowing the bones and joints to settle into the support of the ground beneath you. And then if it's comfortable for you to extend the heels away from the crown of the head, you can do that. If that causes any discomfort in the lower back, just keep the knees bent, take the feet a little wide, and let the knees fall in towards each other so the legs are supported and can relax. Good. We'll have a few more breaths here. Closing the eyes to shift the gaze inward, bringing the awareness to the breath. Notice the quality of the breath today before we really get moving. Notice if the chest feels tight or open, if the breath is short or long, if the inhale or the exhale bears more weight. And then we'll begin to consciously deepen the breath, bringing the awareness to the diaphragm, that muscle that is just below the ribs and facilitates the breath. And as you inhale, feel it expand downward. And as you exhale, settle into the back body. Allow the body to spread wide across the blocks or the floor. Continue like this for a few more breaths. Inhale, tracing the expansion of the diaphragm all the way down into the bottoms of the feet and the tips of the toes. And as you exhale, softening and spreading wide across the back body plane. This is great breath work for anxiety, because when we get anxious, the breath gets short and fast and we move like up and forward into the front body plane. So by breathing down into the feet and spreading wide through the back body, the nervous system is calm. Then we'll bring our awareness into the toes, and as we inhale, draw the awareness up through the legs, into the pelvis, the hips, the low back. Notice any areas of tension, soreness, general discomfort. And as you inhale deeply, breathe into those places. Open and expand with the inhale. As you exhale completely, soften. Allow some of the tension to leave the body with the breath. Next inhale draws the awareness up through the torso, into the shoulders, the neck, and the face. Again, noticing where in the upper body you're holding tension today, and using the awareness to go there as you inhale, bringing your intention to open, making space for fresh blood flow and oxygen. And as you exhale completely, continuing the conversation of consciously asking the body to relax, release, and let go. Lastly, bring the awareness into the mind. And notice where your thoughts are at in this moment. Notice the speed at which they're moving through you. Allow yourself to step back from identifying as the thoughts and begin to witness their passing without getting attached or carried away, without judging yourself for what you're thinking about, but just beginning to notice the habits and patterns in the way the mind turns. And then bring the awareness back and anchor it fully on your breath. Inhale and breathe deeply into the back of the chest and the sides of the chest. And as you exhale completely, allow the body to sink into the support of the ground beneath you and to spread wide. With your next inhale, reach the arms up and overhead. Palms face each other, hands as wide as the shoulders. Stretch back through the fingertips and down through the heels. Don't just allow the arms to collapse to the floor, but keep energy in them as you're reaching the fingertips away from the crown of the head and the shoulders down, away from the ears. Have 3 more deep, long breaths here. And then with an inhale, bend the knees and ground the feet. Exhale, roll to the right side body, coming off the blocks. Press down with the palms to lift up and come to a comfortable seated position. Keep your eyes closed for just another moment. Bring the awareness into the foundation and press down with the sits bones to lift through the crown of the head and the tips of the ears. Ground the fingertips by your hips and press down into the fingertips. Draw the elbows back and a little bit wide. By pressing down into the fingertips, draw the shoulders together on the back. Soften them down away from the ears. And then hug the center of the shoulder blades into the spine to open the chest a little bit more. Looking, you can relax the hands to the thighs if that feels good for you. Looking for that same alignment that we just created, laying on the floor or laying on the blocks. Shoulders hugged together on the back body. So the heart is actually the center of the energetic body. And although it is about love and compassion and all of these things, it's fundamentally about finding balance. The heart is where the energy of who you are meets the energy of the universe. It's where we bring all of the aspects of self into alignment. It's also the place from which we reach out and connect to others. So by finding balance within, we then learn to have balance, equal energetic exchange, and reciprocity in our relationships with others and how we interact in our communities, so that we are never taking unfair advantage, but we're also not sacrificing ourselves. We're able to hold the true complexity of who we are and the complexity of how every other person is just as complex, all in our mind's eye at once, and work strategically to honor that complexity. We're gonna Om, and then we'll do a pranayama to get started. Actually, we're not gonna Om, because it's just me here, so I bother. But the pranayama is alternate nostril breathing. It's to bring balance to the sides of the body, the hemispheres of the brain, all of the seemingly opposing forces within and around us that actually work together to create balance. So you're gonna bring your right hand up by your face and fold your pointer and your middle fingers down. We'll be using the thumb to block the right nostril, the ring and the pinky finger to block the left nostril alternately. First, just inhale, lift and lengthen through the crown. Exhale, soften the shoulders together and down. Block the right nostril and inhale, left. Switch and exhale, right. Inhale, right. Switch and exhale, left. Inhale, left. Switch and exhale, right. Inhale, right. Switch and exhale, left. Inhale, left. Switch and exhale, right. Inhale, right. Switch and exhale, left. One more round on your own, observing any differences in the sides of the body in this moment. Remembering that the left side is the feminine, the dark, the creative, intuitive side. And the right side is the sun side, the masculine, the analytical, logical, light side. The next time you exhale on the left, you can release your hands down and return to your normal breath. Again, just pausing to notice if you can feel the effects of that pranayama exercise on the energy in the body. So all of these exercises are just tools so that we can observe what is going on within and start to notice what adjustments we need to and can make to return the body to balance, to center again and again. With an inhale, you can gently open your eyes. We're gonna cross the right shin in front of the left shin in close to the knees so that when the legs relax, the top shin is breaking up the hardness in the bottom calf. The feet poke out in like the middle of the thighs and they move towards turning to face up. We're gonna interlace the hands and bring them onto the head. And we're gonna draw the elbows and the armpits back and down. So we don't want the shoulders coming up by the ears and the shoulders coming out of the socket here. With an inhale, reach the palms up. Gaze down towards your abdomen and use that as leverage to pull the belly button in towards the spine reaching through the palms to lift the back ribs, each one off the one below it. Keep all of that as you inhale and gaze up. Pull the pinky fingers and the thumbs down towards your face and feel the shoulders soften down away from the ears. Neutralize your head and gaze. Look forward for a few more deep, long breaths. Each inhale, you're drawing in and up from the floor to the core, lifting the palms, hugging the elbows in. Each exhale, you are softening the shoulders down away from the ears, the skin down around the bones, the hips into the floor. With your next exhale, release the hands and twist to the right. Ground the right fingertips behind you and press the left hand and the right knee together. Pressing the knee up is going to activate the legs, which are your foundation. Press down through both sits bones evenly and inhale, lift the crown of the head and the tips of the ears. As you exhale, deepen the twist. Pressing out through the hands to roll the shoulders together, down and center of the shoulder blades into the spine. Have 3 more deep, long breaths. Each inhale getting length. Each exhale deepening your twist. Notice what you're doing with your neck. Sometimes it helps to bring it back to center, chin over the sternum, and then slide the jawbone back. Stack the neck over the spine and then gaze back. Good. Exhale to center. We're going to switch out the crossing of the legs so the left shin is in front now. And switch out the interlacing of the fingers so we all have one way that feels really comfortable and normal. And we want to now do the opposite to bring balance. Bring the hands back onto the top of the head and draw the armpits back and down away from the ears. With your next inhale, reach up and gaze down towards the abdomen. Pull the low ribs in towards the spine. So we have a tendency when we reach the arms up to just collapse into the hypermobile part of the lower back. So we want to draw the ribs in as we stretch the palms up to stretch the intercostal muscles between the ribs and the back body. Keeping all of that as you inhale and gaze up, pull the pinky fingers and the thumbs down towards your face. Feel how the scapula, the shoulder blades, are attached to the hands. Neutralize your head and gaze for 3 more breaths. Each inhale drawing into the midline and stretching up. Each exhale softening the skin down around the bones, pinkies and the thumbs, shoulders and hips towards the floor. 1 more big inhale. And exhale, release and twist to the left. Kickstand those left fingertips behind you. Press the right hand and the left knee together. Call and response. Finding that balance that activates the foundation. Press into both sits bones evenly. And from the base of the spine, inhale, lift and lengthen through the crown of the head and the tips of the ears. As you exhale, deepen your twist. Pressing down into the palms to draw the shoulders together. Down and center of the shoulder blades into the spine without letting the low ribs pop out. So it's all of these checks and balances, balance of opposing forces throughout the body. Have 2 more deep, long breaths. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, twist. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, ring out. Good. Bring it back to center. And we'll come onto our hands and knees. Spread the fingers wide and press through all the knuckle mounds. The rotation in the upper arms has a lot to do with the alignment of the shoulders. So play with turning the biceps forward and feel what that does. Play with turning the biceps back towards your body and feel what that does. We're looking for what creates the most space. So I'm going to tell you, just so I don't want you doing it wrong and hurting your shoulders. Biceps turning forward, rolls the shoulders back, broadens through the neck and throat and collarbone, all right? We're gonna keep that action as we begin to cat-cow. Inhale, dropping the abdomen down, arching the back, gazing up. Exhale, pressing down to curl the back of the heart to the ceiling. Continue at your own pace. Sync the motions of the body with the breath. Use the breath to deepen the motions of the body. Allow yourself to move in any way that feels good to you within the confines of the shape. Good. And then with an exhale, tuck the toes and lift the hips high. Press back, downward facing dog. Making sure the hands and the feet are evenly grounded. Usually we always have one hand forward more or one hand turned out. And since they're at the foundation of our pose, that's gonna have ripple effects up through the whole body. Inhale, lift and spread your fingers and toes. Feel the energy draw up the arms and legs. And exhale, ground them down. But keep that engagement. From that grounding, inhale and lift your hips high. Lift the abdomen towards the spine. Exhale the thigh bones back. Feel how that makes space in the lower back. And keep that space in the lower back as you begin to ground the heels. Pressing from the back of the knees down and lifting from the back of the knees up. If your hamstrings are super tight, feel free to work with the knees slightly bent right over the ankles and just work on getting that lift through the sit bones that makes space in the lower back. Let the head hang heavy and have 3 more breaths. And then with an inhale, fold forward into your plank pose. Always feeling free to lower the knees to work the alignment, but you want to lower them behind the hips so you're still working, right? The abdomen lifts. We root down from the tailbone through the knees or the heels. And we're also lifting the back of the ribs to meet the shoulder blades. Since they're attached to the hands, we have to lift the ribs to meet them. And then roll the shoulders down, extend through the back of the neck. One more big breath. And exhale, lower the knees, the chest and the chin to the mat. Press the tops of the feet down and inhale, lift the heart. Roll the shoulders back. Low cobra. Everything that's on the ground presses firmly into the ground to give you that leverage to lift through the heart and the crown of the head more. Roll those shoulders up to the ears and then down the back. Hug the center of the shoulder blades into the spine to open the chest more. And notice if you're crunching into one place in your neck. Drop the chin down towards the chest and then lengthen through a uniform curve in the spine. One more big breath. And exhale, press back, seat to heels. Come into child's pose. Allow the weight of the hips to settle fully towards the heels. And from that grounding in the lower body, inhale and breathe, lengthen space into the spine. Walk the fingertips forward. Exhale here. Working on the alignment in the arms, we're gonna press down into the palms to lift the forearms up away from the ground. Bringing energy into the arms, we're pulling from the fingertips to the center of the back of the heart, drawing the shoulders down away from the ears. The biceps turn up. That same rotation in the arms, but we keep the index knuckle mound grounded down and soften the outer armpits towards the floor. Have 3 more breaths here. This is the alignment in down dog. It's the alignment in handstand and all the poses where we're bearing weight on the arms. Keep this action as you inhale, float forward, hands and knees. Exhale, press back, downward dog. Finding that same alignment. Pressing down into the hands to lift the forearms away from the floor. Inhale, lift the hips high. And exhale, press the thigh bones back. Turn the biceps forward. And take the center of the shoulder blades, not down towards the floor, but up and back towards the upper thighs. Let the head hang heavy and have 3 more deep, long breaths. And then with an inhale, begin to tippy-toe the feet forward to meet the hands. Come into a standing forward bend. Feel free to take a slight bend in the knees if that feels good to you here. Let the head hang heavy. Shake it yes and no. Grab opposite elbows and sway. Move in any way that feels good to you to release the tension from the back, the shoulders, and the neck. This is the only time in the class that I'm going to tell you to let your shoulders come up by your ears. Have 1 more big breath. And exhale, release the hands to the mat. Bring the hands onto the hips. Root down with the hands on the hips. Draw the elbows together on the back. And inhale, lift the abdomen, the heart, the crown, the head to come to stand. Exhale, release the arms down by your sides. Good, checking in with our alignment. We've been building and working from the ground up. Outer edge of the feet parallel with outer edge of the mat. Thigh bones back so the hips stack over the knees and ankles. Tailbone roots down so the abdomen can lift. And then with the hands by the sides, turn the palms to face forward. Feel what that does in the shoulders. Draws the shoulders together and down the back, which is what we're looking for in all the shapes. Keep that as you inhale and reach up. Exhale, fold forward over the legs. As you inhale, gaze forward, you can always put your hands on your blocks or cans or cases of beer, as Roy says. Inhale, gaze forward, lengthen. We're pressing down into the palms to roll the shoulders back so there's space in the neck here. Can you see that? And then as we exhale, we're keeping the shoulders drawn back, which is up away from the ears as we fold so the back of the neck is long. Do that a few more times. Inhale, lifting the abdomen, pressing down into the fingertips to roll the shoulders back. Exhale, hinging at the hips. 3 more times, moving with your own breath. So even as we repeat the same shapes again and again, we're discovering new things about them and about ourselves as we work. Good. With your next inhale, gaze forward, lengthen. And exhale, step that right leg back. We're lowering the right knee down. We're in a low lunge on the left side. And with an inhale, reach the arms up. Good, so from the base of the pose, we're drawing the legs towards each other. We're lifting the abdomen. And as you exhale, taking the center of the buttocks into the midline, lifting the heart up. We're going to grab the right wrist with the left hand and exhale, lean over to the left side, stretching through that whole right quad, psoas, side body. Notice the tendency to let the right shoulder come forward. Draw the shoulder back. Keep the bones and joints stacked as you work today. 3 breaths. Good. And with an inhale, return to center. Exhale here. Grounding your hands on the blocks or the floor, we're going to straighten both legs. We're in a pretty long stance, so you might want to hop the back foot in a little bit. You can turn the back foot out and ground the heel down. Gazing at the hips, we want to find a balance and evenness there, so pressing the thigh bones back. Inhale, lift the abdomen, gaze forward. Press down into the palms to roll the shoulders back and keep the shoulders back as you fold more deeply into that straight front leg for 3 more deep, long breaths. Breathing into the places that feel tight and sore and stuck. And as you exhale, softening a little bit, seeing what you can let go of. Good. With an inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, a bend in the front knee. Inhale, step the back foot forward. Exhale, fold deeply. Inhale, gaze forward, lengthen the spine. Exhale, the left leg back, lower the left knee down this time. Inhale, reach the arms up. Finding that engagement from the floor, drawing the legs together to lift the core. And as you exhale, sinking down more deeply into the stretch and using that leverage to lift the heart. Grab the left wrist with the right hand and exhale it over to the right side. Being aware of letting that shoulder come forward. Draw both shoulders back and down, 3 breaths. Good, and inhale it back to center. Release the hands to the floor or the blocks. Tuck the back toes and straighten both legs. Maybe you want to hop that back foot in a little bit. Turn the foot out slightly to ground the heel down. And finding balance and evenness in the hips. Pressing both thigh bones back as you inhale, lift the abdomen. Lengthen the heart forward. Press into the palms to roll the shoulders back and keep the shoulders lifted away from the ears as you hinge at the hips. Have 3 more deep, long breaths. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, bend that front knee. Inhale, step the back foot forward. Exhale, fold more deeply. Inhale, reach the arms up and overhead, come to stand. Exhale, release the arms down by your sides. Good. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, fold deeply. Inhale, gaze forward, lengthen. Exhale, the left leg back. So we're now, again, in a lunge on the right side, but this time we're keeping the back knee lifted. We're lifting that back thigh bone and we're widening it to the left to stabilize the pelvis. Press out through the back heel. Inhale, lift the abdomen and lengthen the crown of the head forward. With your next inhale, we're gonna lift the right arm up. So the hips stay facing forward and now the shoulders stack. As we inhale, we pull from the fingertips and the toes, from the periphery into the center. And as we exhale from the center, pressing out through the hands to draw the shoulders in towards the spine. Have 3 more breaths. And exhale, release. Inhale, step the back foot forward. Exhale, fold deeply. Inhale, gaze forward, lengthen. Exhale, that right leg back, low lunge on the left side. Keeping the back knee lifted and lifting the thigh bone, widening it out to the right to stabilize the pelvis as you twist. Pressing through the back heel and the crown of the head. Inhale, lift the abdomen and lift that left arm up. And be aware of the bottom shoulder has a tendency to come forward. Roll it back and down. As you inhale, draw into the center. And as you exhale, extend out in all directions. 3 breaths. Good, and with that third exhale, release. Inhale, step the back foot forward. Exhale, fold deeply. Inhale, reach the arms up and overhead, come to stand. Exhale, release the arms down by your sides. Good. So we're gonna take the feet wide again, like we have been. And we're gonna add on a little more to this series of standing poses that we've been doing. So with the feet wide, arms out to the side, parallel to the earth. I'm gonna take a moment here to turn the palms to face up. Take a slight bend in the elbows. And use that leverage to draw the shoulders together down and into the back body. Keep that action as you press through the palms and turn them down. Good. Widening the left hip to the left. We're going to turn the right foot out all the way. Stretch the fingertips forward. Keep the abdomen and the thigh bone back as you come down into triangle pose. You can bring your hand to the block, the shin, or the floor behind your leg. We need to find balance and evenness into the hips so we can lengthen the side bodies evenly. That back thigh bone rotates in, presses back and up. The front thigh bone cuts back towards the back thigh bone and the butt cheek hugs into the midline of the body. Pressing out through both feet. Inhale, draw the abdomen back. And exhale, turn it back to the left. Press out through the hands to roll the shoulders together down and in towards the spine. And have 3 more deep, long breaths. Good. With an inhale, rise up. Exhale, deep bend in the front knee. Bringing the elbow onto the knee or the fingertips to the floor in front of your foot for today. Pressing from the tailbone out through the back heel. Inhale, reach that arm over the ear, creating one line of energy through the whole side body. Inhale, draw the legs towards each other, draw the abdomen back. Exhale, stretch and lean back to stack the shoulders and open the heart. Maybe you want to take that left hand behind your back and reach for the right thigh into a half bind to deepen that opening in the shoulders. Have 3 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Good. That left hand's on the left hip. Hop the back foot in. Scoot the block or the fingertips out in front of you. Press down through the big toe mound on the right foot, out through both heels to rise. Finding that stacking of the hips and shoulders again. When the bones and joints stack, a lightness comes into the body. Inhale, draw the abdomen back. And exhale, press firmly through the hands to roll the shoulders back. Have 3 more deep, long breaths. Gazing at the floor for balance. Gazing straight ahead for alignment. Maybe eventually gazing up for finesse. Good. With your next exhale, bend into the standing leg. Lower the back foot behind you. Coming through Parsvottanasana. Or Parsvakonasana, excuse me. Warrior 2. Triangle prep. And back to both feet facing forward. Good. Turn the left foot out. All the way, the right foot in slightly. Widening the back hip back as you stretch the fingertips forward, coming into triangle pose on the left side. Abdomen and thigh bones stay back. Bringing your hand down to the block, the shin, or the floor outside your foot. Scanning the body from the ground up and feeling what's happening in the hips. We have to open the hips And stack them so we can open the shoulders and stack them. Back thigh bone, it rotates in slightly and presses back and up. Front thigh bone, back towards the back thigh bone and butt cheek into the midline of the body. From that activation and alignment in the hips and legs, inhale, lift the abdomen towards the spine and turn it back to the right. Pressing out through the fingertips to roll the shoulders back, especially that bottom shoulder. Well, both shoulders, but sometimes the bottom shoulder gets away from us. Bringing energy into the arms to roll the top shoulder back. 3 breaths. And then with an inhale, rise. Exhale, bend the knee, bring the elbow onto the knee or the fingertips to the floor in front of the foot for today. Pressing the back thigh bone back and pressing from the tailbone down through the back heel. Reach the fingertips over the ear. So it's one line of energy through the whole body. As you inhale, drawing the abdomen in. As you exhale, extending out and rolling the shoulders back. If you did so on the other side, take that right arm behind the back, reaching for the thigh of the left leg. Draw the shoulders together and down the back. Have 3 more deep, long breaths. And then with that right hand on the hip, hop the back foot in, scoot the fingertips out. Left big toe stays grounded as you lift the right leg. Press through both heels. Stack the hips and stack the shoulders. Maybe the top arm lifts up. Inhale and everything draws into the center of the body. Exhale and you extend in all directions. Gazing down towards the floor for balance. Gazing straight ahead to find alignment in the neck. Maybe gazing up for finesse. 3 breaths. And as you exhale, bend that knee. That was not a graceful landing. Lower through Parsvakonasana, warrior 2. Straighten the leg. Turn the feet forward. Step or jump together. Good. Let's do a couple balancing poses. Let me just check the time. Okay, balancing poses and then winding down. We'll do 2 balancing poses today. First, we'll do side tree. I believe we've done tree a couple times. So you're gonna shift your weight onto your right foot, lift and spread the toes wide, ground them down. Inhale, lift the left knee. You're placing the foot on the thigh or the calf. You're going above or below the knee joint. The knee is a hinge joint. We do not want to press sideways into it, but the foot and the leg hug together to find that balance. Hugging the hands together at the heart to find that balance. Press down with the standing leg to lift up. Good. So this is regular tree pose and you can stay here. If you want to challenge yourself in balance today, you can bring the left hand down onto the left knee, palm facing up. Begin to widen the right hip to the right as you lean to the left for side tree. Have 3 deep, long breaths. And then inhale it back to center. And exhale, release. Good. My foot's on fire. How about yours? We'll do that now on the other side. So shifting the weight to the left foot, building the pose from the ground up, spread the toes, press through the 4 corners of the feet. Inhale, lift the right knee. Place the foot on the inner calf or the inner thigh, above or below the knee joint, because the legs press together to find that stability. Press the hands together at the heart to find that stability. Ground down from the tailbone, through the standing leg, through the floor, connecting to the earth, and then from that grounding, lift up in the opposite direction. Good, and if you Want to stay right here in the center? That's great. If you want to take it a little bit deeper, bring the right palm facing up onto the right knee. Widen that left hip to the left. Lift up and over to the right. And have 3 more deep, long breaths. And don't look at me because I'm wobbling. Look at something that's not moving for balancing poses. Good, with your next inhale. Bring it to center. And exhale, release everything to the mat. Good work. We're gonna do one more balancing pose for fun. We're gonna do dancing Shiva. So you're gonna shift your weight again onto your right foot. And this time you're bending the left knee back behind you. You're gonna grab onto the left foot with the left hand. Sticking your booty out towards your heel and rooting your tailbone down. You should feel it as a grounding and a deepening in the quad stretch. Inhale, lift that right arm up. And exhale, kick the foot into the hand. Pull the hands on the foot to open up into dancing Shiva. The legs pull energetically towards each other to keep the hips facing forward. We lift the frontal hip bones and the abdomen. The right shoulder draws back as the left shoulder draws forward. Have 3 more breaths. And then inhale, rise. And exhale, release. Shake it up. Shake it up, shake it up. Good. Then we'll shift our weight onto our left foot. Spread wide, ground down. Bend the right knee and grab the right foot with the right hand. Sticking your booty out towards the heel and then rooting the tailbone down. Inhale, lift the left arm up. Exhale, kick the hand back into the foot. Pull the hand on the foot to open up. Hug the inner thighs together to keep the hips facing forward. Lift the abdomen. Left shoulder back, right shoulder forward. 3 breaths. Ah, oops. When you're ready, inhale, rise. And exhale, release. I totally tried to look at myself and fell over. Deserve it. All right. Back at the top of the mat. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, gaze forward, lengthen. Exhale, ground the palms, step back to down dog or child's pose, your choice. We'll have a few more breaths. Taking a moment to check back in with yourself. Noticing the quality of the breath now. Noticing the tension in the body in this moment. Observing the speed of the thoughts through the mind. And then we're gonna do dolphin pose. So it's like downward dog, but we're on the forearms. And you wanna keep your forearms parallel like railroad tracks. Often our hands wanna come in close to each other. So if you have the block, you can place the block between the index fingers and the thumb. If not, just use your awareness to keep the forearms parallel. Shoulders over the elbows. Tuck the toes and lift the hips high like downward dog. Good, so you're gonna walk the feet in and lift the hips more. If your hamstrings are tight here, you can bend the knees and lift the hips more. Keeping the shoulders over the elbows, gaze towards the thigh bones. Take the center of the shoulder blades up and back towards the thigh bones, and then gaze back towards the floor between the elbows. You can stay right here for 5 breaths, or you can play with lifting the left leg up. Then you can have 3 breaths with that leg lifted. And with an exhale, lower and inhale, lift the right leg up. If you didn't lift your legs up, just come down into child's pose after 5 breaths. You know that this is actually really fucking hard. Good. We'll all meet in child's pose. Opening the heart from a place that is strong, stable, and sustainable is not easy. Let's rise up onto the knees. If you have a block, place the block between the thighs to remind the legs to stay active and support the spine. If not, just remind the legs to stay active and support the spine. Root the tailbone down, interlace the hands. Inhale, lift the abdomen, lift the sternum. Exhale, draw the arms away from your back. Inhale, lift the sternum, lift the gaze. Exhale, draw the arms away. Have 3 more breaths. Each breath drawing in and up, and each exhale leaning back more. Do not collapse into the back of the neck here. And then with an inhale, rise. And exhale, you can sit back on the heels or sit back between the heels. If that feels horrible on your knees or hips, especially if the pain is sharp and shooting, that means don't fucking do it and pick another way to sit, to have a few breaths. What I like about this shape is that the pelvis roots down, and it's easy to find the lightness, the stacking of the bones and joints that brings that lightness into the body. With an inhale, rise. Block between the thighs if you have it. Switch out the crossing of the fingers behind the back. Root the tailbone down. Inhale, lift the abdomen, lift the sternum. Exhale, draw the arms away from the back body. Inhale, lift the sternum, lift the gaze. Exhale, draw the arms away more. 3 breaths. Do not collapse into the back of your neck. That's not good for your neck. Use this pose to strengthen your neck. And with an inhale, rise. Release the block from between the thighs. Come to lay down on your back. If you haven't noticed, I'm obsessed with the blocks, and I'm obsessed with the block between the thighs because it forces you to engage your legs properly and protect the lower spine. So if you have the block, you can place it between your thighs. If not, you want to just make sure when you bend the knees and ground the feet, when you lift your hips, that you don't let your feet turn out. Your feet stay facing forward, so you're not relying on the glutes, you're using the hamstrings and the quads. Press the back of the head down, and inhale, lift the pelvis, the low back, the middle back. Interlace the hands behind the back. You can roll the shoulders under. You can interlace the hands or roll the shoulders under, whatever feels better to you. Just palms facing up. And the heart is the focal point of this pose. Pressing down into the arms to lift the back of the ribs. From the heart, extend through the knees, lengthening the tailbone. From the heart, extend through the crown of the head. Again, have 3 more deep, long breaths. And with an exhale, release. Take the block from between the thighs. Keep the feet wide and drop the legs to the right side. So that left knee is coming towards the right foot. You're in a wide-legged twist. Allow the low body to settle and be heavy. And inhale, reach up through the fingertips. Have a few deep, long breaths. Inhale to center and exhale the legs over to the other side. Again, allowing the low body to be heavy, to ground down. Inhale, breathe length and space into the spine. Exhale, soften into the support of the ground beneath you. Allow yourself to be held. Find that balance of effort and ease, of will and surrender that enable us to take flight. Inhale to center and draw the knees into the chest. Gently rock from side to side. Massage the low back. And then drop the knees all the way to the right side. Take the arms wide, or you can do it in like a cactus or goalpost if you're running out of space. Inhale, deeply breathing into the back of the heart. And exhale, completely softening into the support of the ground beneath you. Allowing the body to be wrung out, the organs to detox, creating space for fresh blood to flow through when the body unwinds. And inhale brings it back to center. And exhale, the knees up and over to the left side, keeping the arms spread wide. Inhale, breathing that length and space into each vertebrae. And exhale, twisting more deeply. Allowing the twist to penetrate all the layers and levels of your being. Wringing out the attachments to ego, the habits and patterns that aren't serving you. Making room for fresh energy, ideas, and opportunities to come through. With an inhale, bring it back to center, and we'll reach through the knees to grab onto the outer edge of the feet for happy baby. Pressing the feet into the hands and pulling the hands on the feet. There's that call and response. That balance of give and take. You can sway the body from side to side, move in any way that feels good to you here. It is the final pose of the practice. When you're ready, you can relax, release, and open into Shavasana, corpse pose, final relaxation. We're going to rest with the feet as wide as the hips and allow the feet to relax and fall out. If that causes any pain in the lower back, you can again bend the knees, round the feet a little bit wide, and let the knees fall together for support. Palms face up, rolling those shoulders back at like a 30-degree angle from the body. And as you inhale, bring the awareness back to the diaphragm. Feel it extend down. As you exhale, spread wide across the floor. Inhale down into the bottoms of the feet and the tips of the toes. And exhale, release any residual tension, negativity, anxiety from the body with the breath through the fingertips. Allow this pose to teach you what balance is, what it feels like in the body. Remember that the breath is a control dial on the awareness. So if the mind races, bring the awareness to the exhale and consciously lengthen the exhale. The aspect of the breath that calms and soothes and settles us. If on the other hand, you feel tired or groggy or lethargic, bring your awareness to the inhale and consciously deepen the inhale. The aspect of the breath that enlivens and invigorates us. Through this conscious regulation of our breath, we seek to create an awareness that is both calm and alert in all moments. No matter what the world throws at us, we're able to return the body and the mind to balance. Spend a few more minutes here. I'm going to get off. I hope you all enjoyed the class. Please feel free to let me know what you're thinking and give me feedback. And have a great rest of your night.